I do want to preface this review here before we really get into this, that this is going to be a review. This is a product review. If you do feel that you like this product, then that is going to be your prerogative. Ultimately, you do have money to spend, and that is going to be your choice. However, as I just said, this is a product review. As a reviewer, I cannot say that something is the opposite of what I believe or what a company puts out. So if it is not a good product, then I can't say that it is a good product. And if it deserves to be ripped to shreds in every capacity, I'm going to do it. Without further ado, let's go.
Dragon Ball, horror, kaiju, and more. Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hello there, collectors. It's going to be Steven here, and welcome to another SH Monster Arts review. I'm very disappointed here because I was really hoping when I first saw prototype of this that I would be able to report back that this was going to be pretty neat and a novel release. Having it in hand, I'm very disheartened. I'm bringing you a review of the Tamashii Nation Store exclusive Godzilla 2019 Night Colors Edition. So the intent here is to recreate, I suppose it's the Battle of Boston version where he's going after King Ghidorah, and it's all neat and good. But when it comes to this release, unfortunately, I am really caught in the idea that this is not a product that lands well. It's very disappointing and it's very disheartening because I really want to be able to like this product at minimum, because it is a chance to, even though it is a paint variant, for folks to get a unique and a really cool idea for a MonsterVerse Godzilla when there is product that is coming out, and a chance for Tamashii Nations, a company that is a part of Bandai, to really show that they know exactly what it means to make a Godzilla product. But this is not it. This simply is not it. And we're going to talk about this in nearly every aspect. So I'm going to tell you why you really should probably skip this figure. Yeah, I didn't use my normal ending there. Let's go. So, 360 spin view. I really do want to say that when it comes to the sculpted details, except for the head, the sculpted details are really solid. I do think that this looks really neat. The sculpted details are fantastic. We have the nice scutes and the keloid scarring and the dorsal plates. The details are really good. They did base this off of the CGI model with Yuji Sakai, helping all of that good stuff. I'm a broken record here. You know what can be done with the SH Monster Arts line. The head sculpt, however, just doesn't land correctly. And there's something that's been going around, at least it's an alleged screenshot in Minecraft, as the kids say. I'm using my wording very strongly there as to why some of the sculpted parts look the way they do, but we're going to talk about that in a minute. But when it comes to the paint application, this is where things start to fall apart, and this is where I'm having a tough time to really get into this. So let's just cut to the chase here. When it comes to the head, the eyes are a metallic blue with dots effectively for the pupils, the iris, so forth. And I mean, they're not aligned properly. Okay, it is what it is. For the teeth, once again, unfortunately, we do have another instance where they are all one solid paint application. The tongue on mine's a little crooked. I'm not really upset there. Now that we're going to continue on, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the entirety of the purple-ish blue paint apps. And this is where I'm mostly going to focus in for this section of the review, along with talking about the lubricant that they put on for the joints. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go and move the ab crunch. As you can see, the paint application does not extend beyond where the figure would be in a neutral pose. Now on your screen here is going to be it's an OC Donut Steel design, but it is effectively Super Saiyan 3 Kaioken Blue word salad Goku. It's made by a company called Kong Studios, or what used to be, and they make what some refer to as third-party studio stuff. We're going to come back to that. action figures for Dragon Ball. They've done quite a few, but I'm bringing this one up here specifically because depending on how you look at it, they make what is known as knockoff product, bootleg product from Tamashii nations. Now, I'm bringing this up to you because something similar happened here with this particular figure. When you move any of the joints on this figure, the special coating paint application isn't found underneath that area, just like this Godzilla. If you're not able to really figure out what I'm saying here, these are alike. The special paint application that they were trying for an item that was meant to be sold in their flagship store, that was meant to be a super special edition, is equivalent to what is effectively a knockoff, bootleg, third part, whatever you want to say, product that goes for the same price. When it comes to things like the toes and the claws, those actually look pretty good. There's some nice shading there. I like it. I think that's really cool. But when you bring everything together, when you bring it home, the paint application is pretty much disappointing. I do want to talk about some of the joints here because overall, I do think mine moves fluidly. In my unboxing, I took the piss out of it. Yeah, some of the parts fell off, but that's kind of a game I like to play in my unboxing videos because that usually happens. But something that I did notice, because someone brought it up in my Discord, where the joint where the tail plugs into, his butt, that he couldn't pop it back in, and he tried a whole bunch of different methods and remedies that normally work. So I tried to help him out to show him what I had on my end, and the joint just sort of, for whatever reason, snapped back into place. Here's a little snippet of the video that I sent him. So that's kind of odd, but in looking very close in places like the wrist joint and some other select areas, it looks like some of the joints were lubricated, which, okay, that's cool. I mean, it is a thing that they noted that joints were problematic and they tried to fix it, but we do have some noted issues that are popping up in the community, and considering how limited this is, who knows? Another point that I do want to make as we come to this conclusion of this unique section of this review, in looking across Tamashii Nations, Bandai collectively, their social medias, they haven't shown this product that I have seen, or really SH Monster Arts in total, at their New York store. Here are two screenshots that I was able to take when it came to the New York store's stories on Instagram. Otherwise, it's almost as if this product doesn't exist. Make of it what you will. Okay, so for this section of the review, we're not really going to go into things like the articulation, the sizing, because honestly, how many times have we gone over that with this particular sculpt? And for the accessories, he comes with the standard 2019 Monsterverse hands. I think even honestly the 2014 as well. So you pretty much know what that's like, but we will talk about the accessories at the end of the review here. What I do want to talk about here, however, are going to kind of be the ideas and the rebuttals for this figure that have been going around the community. I've been taking some notes as well. Allegedly, from one end of the spectrum to the other, for things that excuse this to sort of the average person who may just kind of see this and think, well, I don't have a MonsterVerse Godzilla, and I think this may be just fine to pick up. So it goes from one end, which allegedly in Minecraft, as the meme goes, there is a content creator who has ties to Tamashii, who is allegedly, there's a screenshot who's noting that the 2019 sculpt has somehow disappeared. And then again, the other end of the spectrum, the idea that I don't have a MonsterVerse Godzilla, so this is fine. So let's go ahead and let's just dismantle the arguments entirely. So when it comes to this figure, we do know that there are issues when it comes to the sculpt, more so in particular when it comes to the head. When it comes to sculpt inaccuracies, we know that Tamashii Nations does have a history of addressing sculpt issues. End of discussion, we know that. And it doesn't even come down to sculpt issues. They come with revisions of sculpts, and they come with new versions, even of the same characters. And this comes in the form of renewals, or even different versions. So when it comes to that, just as an example, when it comes to things like exclusive versions or limited releases, we do have the recent World Tour version of the Super Saiyan Warrior Awakening Goku here. I was able to secure one through Big Bad Toy Store as well, and as you can see here, this is going to be a repaint, but this Goku is just sort of a symbol, if you will, of how many Gokus they've released, how many minor alterations they've done, like from the Saiyan raised on Earth even to the superhero. They've made minor articulation changes, but they've also done renewals from the original release of Goku up to the Saiyan raised on Earth. So if there is something that is going to be a sculpt issue, notably the head, for whatever the reason may be, that can be changed and that can be updated. So far in the SH MonsterArts line, aside from small issues that they have gone back to fix, notably within the line when it comes to the Heisei Mecha Godzilla, that is something which could be done. But let's go ahead and address specifically apples to apples here. If we are going to talk about exclusive SH MonsterArts figures, correct? Well, I do happen to have an exclusive edition, MonsterArts Kong here, one that I was able to pick up on Amazon here. We can see the box is nice and sealed here. This one, as we have a good recollection, he came with an exclusive head sculpt. He came with Mechagodzilla's severed head, the explosion effect that goes on the axe, and he came with 3 heave. So we do have exclusive sculpts that you could only secure in the exclusive edition set here. And admittedly, well, it kind of failed that the original sales method and a whole bunch of other retails got it. But that's the point that I'm making here. The intention was an exclusive sales method, and it did include other parts. Higher price, but nevertheless, that is what happened. So there is a track record of fixing or changing up the sculpt, even when it comes to exclusive parts, exclusive editions, or fixing it at retail, which is a point I'm going to come back to, and they're able to repaint it for future releases, which they did not do here. They've pretty much never done that for an SH MonsterArts release. Now, when it does come to working with CGI models, which they have done for the SH MonsterArts line, I do want to bring up a point here. I can't put everything on the table because I'm going to run out of space. When it comes to things like the MCU Figuarts, they do have the ability to go back or go forward with future releases, and what they can do is they can fix things like paint inaccuracies or even sculpt inaccuracies with things like final battle versions and use those later on, and they have done that. So when it comes to working with CGI models, things that they can and have shown that they can do, it's going to be something like Gamera here. They did work with those who were on the source material, and this is going to be amazing, and it is mwah, chef's kiss. This is also going to be a placeholder for the Kyoto Decisive Battle version, which that is going to be a repaint, which did fix the head sculpt, which they could have done for the Godzilla vs. Kong release, which they did not do, but then also for the MonsterVerse release, we do have the original 2019, we do have the Godzilla vs. Kong, which I wasn't as hard on for that as I should have been, and this one where seemingly they're all going for a white brightening strip on the teeth, but they did not fix. Okay, so that's fine and dandy there. When it also does come to fixing sculpt pieces, when it comes to exclusive edition stuff, even for other releases like Dragon Ball, when it comes to exclusive editions, they do include new parts and new pieces of sculpt on the figure. Like Raditz came with Gohan, and there have been Goku releases that have battle damage parts. Now, when it does come to things like competition, you can see I'm grabbing stuff here. You can fix sculpt when it comes out to begin with, and you can listen to fan demand and you can listen to feedback at retail, and that can help with your cost, and you can repaint it successfully. I mean, that's kind of what a competitor who is directly going after your dollar here, that's what they're doing. Nahaya listened to fan demand with their Godzilla vs. Kong sculpt, and they repainted it for 2019, and they actually did a really good job. Or, correction, they fixed 2019, and they're using it for Godzilla vs. Kong. You know what I'm saying here. So, we have a whole bunch of things here, and I'm not done yet. Because we do have the issue with, okay, Steven, you're missing the point here. This is an exclusive figure. It is only available in 3 geographic locations, and you have to take that into consideration. That's why it has a lack of accessories, and that's why there are corners that are cut. Well, one of the points that I am going to have to that is going to go back to Dragon Ball, and that is going to be another store exclusive, and that is going to be the Goku Innocent Challenger. Like Godzilla over here, this is available at the Tamashii Nation stores in the 3 locations that they have. This is important. Yes, it is going to be a more affordable price, but unlike Godzilla here, this has not had as many repaints in his releases when it comes to the normal figure and the sculpt. And for this one, again, more affordable, but they did repaint the figure, but all of the face plates are new, and they included a new Windy hairpiece for him. They have to factor in that when it comes to cost. So they're able to plan accordingly for one product at minimum. I haven't really looked at the others, but they weren't able to do that with Godzilla. Why? This is Monsterverse American Godzilla here, and this was sort of one of the big ones that they were promoting, which, as we talked about before, they really haven't, and they really, really, really didn't. But I think the big point here, maybe there is something crucially that I am missing. Maybe there is a point that I just don't understand. And someone can absolutely, and they will, correct me in the comments down below. Maybe there's just something here. But what I would like to reiterate is this is going to be a Tamashii Nation store exclusive available in 3 locations, and it is meant to be replenished so this way people who go into the store can pick it up. Okay? At least that's my understanding. What you are telling me, what I'm about to put on the table, you could have placed an order if you lived outside of Japan. Amazon Japan was a little lax with this. That this should not be held to the same standards as, or actually a little less restricted when it comes to availability than what is seen as significantly more restricted, deemed nigh impossible to obtain because of the exclusivity implications, and is seen as one of the best figures in the SH MonsterArts line, which fans love, and note that it is possibly a holy grail. So if they were able to make this, why did this happen? Look, I really want to encourage good product. I really want to encourage product to thrive. But when we nail it down to what this product actually is, I can't see the argument as to why this product should be purchased and what sort of excuse there is for this, and the reason why somebody should purchase it, aside from it is not even a novelty, but it is a product which can be purchased that is overpriced, and it was made just simply for completionists' sake. And so with this, like I made mention, I did want to talk about the accessories, but buy now, skip, wait for a deal, skip. It's not worth it. Japan MSRP, if you're looking to pick it up there, I think it's like 7,700 yen. New York store price, I think, is $75. There's no reason to buy this except for it was made and you're a completionist. Why did I get it? Review. That's all. It's bad. That's my review. It's bad. Hate to make it, but it is. It's just disappointing. Here are the hands that the figure comes with. As you can see, those sort of splayed out hands. But when it's all kind of said and done, here's kind of what I'm going to have to say about it. if you're looking for other accessories, you know that I have videos that are on the market to help you with accessories. But what I can say is if you are looking to pick up other accessories, then there are affordable cosplay sets on the market. You can pick those up.